to confirm the presence of dust and particles present in the air, we are doing a small activity. You would find a sunny room, that is a room that is having sufficient amount of sunlight. You close all the doors and windows like this. Now it has become a dark room. Now you open a slit, or you can open a particular piece of window like this, and you would find the sunlight coming into the room like this. When you observe it carefully, you would be able to find, you will see that there are some particles that are visible in the ray of sunlight like this. So this presence is showing us that there are always dust particles present in the air. So you can always find the presence of dust particles like this. Next is, now we have studied air. Basically air contains maximum part as nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen is 78% while oxygen is 21%. Combining together they make up the 99%. Rest 1% is the other gases, that is carbon dioxide, water vapor and many other gases. So now as you have just understood, the maximum presence of air has the constituent of nitrogen and oxygen, and the other ones were the other gases. Now we will do the oxygen availability to animals and plants that live below the sea level, or you can say into the water. What happens is, we will do that with the help of an activity. Now here in this activity we have taken water in this vessel and we are heating up the water on a tripod stand. On heating, before the water comes to boil, you would find some water droplets on the inner side of the vessel like this. These bubbles, you can see, are representing that air is always present in the water, that is in the dissolved form. And reason being, now it is present in dissolved form. When you keep it boiling, finally what happens, this water boiling gets converted into vapor. Slowly and slowly the liquid form of water gets converted into vapor state, and on vapor state conversion we would see that it starts boiling. On boiling, the water will start evaporating. So we have learned that animals and plants that live in the water or inside the water are consuming the oxygen present in water in the dissolved form. So they are having the availability of oxygen but in dissolved form. Next we have the organisms that will live below the ground, right? What they do is, they start building up their burrows inside the ground. So how do these organisms get oxygen supply? For this again we are doing another activity. We have taken some soil inside a beaker and we will pour some water. Please observe that on doing so, we see some bubbles coming out of this. Now these bubbles are representing that air was present in between the soil particles. When the water was poured, the bubbles came out. So we can conclude that air is present in the dissolved form between the soil particles. Here you can see these living organisms living inside the burrows. So the hole that they make to make their homes inside the ground is actually giving them the supply of oxygen, or you can say supply of air from the atmosphere. But what happens is, during the rainy times, during the rain times, the water gets into their burrows and the air that was present has been now replaced with the water. So these living organisms have to come out of their burrows or have to come out of their holes in order to breathe oxygen. So we can conclude that the organisms that live below the ground or under the ground are consuming the oxygen that is present between the soil particles.